So it's a workout champion.
He's very, very cute, isn't he? Could have been made from the shop. Very happy with those. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Excuse me for the funny camera angles. I'm actually just currently sat in the back of Henry the van. I literally have my head on the ceiling, but hey ho, there we go. I was just fixing, we have these LED lighting strips around the edge of the van. They're pretty cool actually. They go all different colours, but because it's been so hot, all the sort of sticky stuff on the back has stopped working. So I've just been trying to stick them back up with double-sided sticky tape, and unfortunately that hasn't worked, so I think I'm gonna have to bring out the glue and stick them back on with some glue, but hey ho, there we go. But yeah, I just thought I would start a new vlog. I'm really sorry that I didn't get one out last week. Things were a little bit hectic. Basically over here it's the school holidays in Perth, and because I'm a gymnastics coach that means holiday camps, and so I spent most of last week doing holiday camps pretty much all day every day, and I just really didn't have the time to do any vlogging, any editing. And I'm not gonna lie, at the end of each day I was just so tired. I don't know how people with kids do it full time. I quite enjoy looking after other people's kids and teaching them gymnastics and things like that, but it is very nice being able to hand them back at the end of the day and just go home and it be peace and quiet. So there we go. But anyway, I just thought I'd bring you along today because I've got a pretty fun day planned. It's actually a Monday and I'm about to go to a yoga class. I've not done this one before. Basically, I got class pass and I've been trying loads of different things. I actually did an F45 class yesterday, which I've never done before, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. However, my legs today, oh my gosh, are very, very sore. I mean, it probably didn't help the fact that I then went and did climbing later in the afternoon. So silly me, but anyway, hopefully this yoga will be really chilled and just sort of quite relaxing really, and not too strenuous. And then after that, the plan is to come home, make some lunch, and then we've actually booked to go to a water park this afternoon, which I'm very excited about. Myron's wanted to go there for ages. It's called Perth Aqua Park, and it's, as far as I'm aware, it's basically got this giant inflatable in the middle of a lake and you get to go and play on it. So we're going to be big kids today and go and do that, so I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring you along on my day. It's going to be a pretty chilled day. I also want to make sushi later. I've been craving it recently. In the shops over here, there's so many really nice sushi places, but they're not particularly cheap. Like, I'd say they're fairly expensive, although I would say that they're cheaper than in the UK. But anyway, that's not the point. Anyway, I tried to recreate my favourite sushi roll, which is like a crispy chicken with avocado in the rice, and I made it a while ago and it turned out really, really well. So I have made those a few times myself. We've not had them in ages, so I'm going to make some today. So I will show you how to do that because it's definitely worth giving it a go. It makes it so much cheaper to do it yourself and it tastes so good. I follow this YouTube video where this guy shows you how to make it like authentically and it tastes incredible. So yeah, I'll show you how to do that later, but for now we're going to go to yoga and hopefully it will be a chilled one. I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to film in there because like I said, it's my first time going, but maybe I'll see if I can set my phone up for a little bit against my water bottle or something. Anyway, catch you in a bit. Back in the van, looking a little bit dishevelled. That was really, really nice and chilled, just what I needed with all my sore muscles. The only thing is that I'm one of those people that falls asleep very, very easily, and in yoga they always do that bit where you just like lie there with the music and it's dark, and I always pretty much fall asleep. So at the end I realised that everyone else had been sat up for ages and I'd just been like dozing on the floor. But anyway, feeling very chilled, very relaxed. I'm gonna head home and I think I'm gonna have some cake. You know, I made cake yesterday and I feel like I need it, so I'm gonna gonna go do that. So let's drive. It's only like 5 minutes, so should be home pretty quick. What do we think? This is what we've got so far. So this is my rainbow style one. This was actually inspired by an ad I saw for something on Instagram and I love the background of it. So it's still a work in progress, but we're getting there. And then this is the other one. Again, I was inspired by, it was actually an ad on a website for something. So it's gonna have loads of dots on, be sort of Aboriginal inspired. But yeah, I'm really, really loving my painting at the moment. What do you think of my iris as well? Bought them as a little treat for myself. These are my lovely iris that I've got. But anyway, that was not supposed to turn into like a full-on painting session, but I was just enjoying it so much. I was just chilling, watching some YouTube videos that I've probably painted for like over an hour now. So anyway, I probably should get on with some bits. And then I'm so excited for this water park this afternoon. It's gonna be really, really good. All right, this is where we're going. There's a wakeboarding park, and then you can kind of see it in the background. That is the aqua park that we're going to. Very cool. I would love to have a go at wakeboarding at some point, but I need to learn how to do it first because I've never done it before. Let's go. Nearly missed it. No, wrong car park. Very cool. Look at that. It's huge.
Here she goes. Total wipeout champion.
Alright, we just finished at the aqua park and it was really fun. The water was cold, but it was really good fun. I loved the slides and the rope swings and things like that, but my goodness, it was slippy. Like, there was, I think there's a little clip that Mary managed to get of me running across the balls and I fell in the water really hard and I really slapped my leg. But yeah, it was good fun. And then I went on the giant slide at the end and I was like, I really want to land on my feet, and I landed flat on my back, didn't I? So anyway, thank goodness for the life jacket, otherwise I think that would have hurt. But yeah, I've got sun cream on my nose, so please don't judge me. But anyway, gonna get dried off, warmed up. Unfortunately, I didn't get much footage because we weren't allowed to take the GoPro in, which was a bit of a shame, because I think it would have been great. But I think we both had a really, really good time. Really good rainbow. See, all the way across the city. Not a bad drive home. So this is Myron's Easter present. This is his Easter egg. Little Puddles the platypus.
Puddles.
It's
Oh,
Puddles.
it's Puddles.
It is Puddles.
Puddles.
How cute is that though? Let me zoom in. He's very, very cute, isn't he? No, a bit lower. There we go. How adorable is he? We're gonna have to say bye to Puddles now though. Puddles is being eaten. Not the bill. Chocolate good? Nice. Bye Puddles. Enjoy your time in Myron's belly. Alright, it is sushi time, so you're going to start off by measuring out the equivalent of 4 cups of rice. Now, you can use sushi rice, but to be honest, this is just normal white rice and it still works really, really well. The most important part now is to rinse your rice. You're going to do this 3 to 4 times, so each time add the water, swirl it around, drain it off, and you basically want your water to be running fairly clear. So this will take a little bit of time, but it's definitely well worth doing. You can do this first thing on a morning and then just leave it to sit on the side. But yeah, honestly, whatever works for you, but this step is really, really crucial. Otherwise, your rice will end up being way, 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 way too sticky. And just use cold water here, don't use hot water. So after that, you're going to add 4 cups of cold water to the rice once you've rinsed it. And you're just going to cover it and you are going to leave it for about 30 minutes. And then once that 30 minutes is over, you'll notice your rice is a slightly different colour. It's picked up some of that water and you're just going to drain off that water. Now, I didn't have a pan big enough for all of this rice, so I'm actually going to split it between the 2 pans, and I'm now going to add another 4 cups of water, so it'll be 2 in each basically for this. And I'm then going to turn them on, put the lids on, and put it on a high heat until I can see steam coming out of the little holes in the lids. And I can see the water starting to boil, and then I will turn it right down onto low. You're going to cook the rice for 8 minutes, but meanwhile you're going to make the sauce that goes in the rice. So you're going to get 1 cup of rice wine vinegar. You can actually use any vinegar. I've used apple cider vinegar before and that works really well. And then you're going to add 4 tablespoons of sugar to that and half a teaspoon of salt. And you're just going to keep mixing it and it will eventually dissolve. So as you can see here, the steam's coming out. I'm going to turn it down. And then once my rice is finished, I actually didn't show you in the step, but you're going to actually turn the gas off and then leave the lid on for 20 minutes. And then once it's been 20 minutes, you'll then tip it out into a large tray just like I've done and spread it out with the spatula so it cools down nicely. So now I've just got my chicken goujons. These are literally just from the supermarket and I'm just going to cook those in the oven whilst I add my mixture to my rice. I'm also prepping my avocado here, so again I just used a couple of avocados, cut them into chunks just so that they're ready when I want to fill up my sushi rolls. So yeah, super easy, not too complicated. The hardest part is actually doing the rolling. So yeah, you get your sushi rolls, you're gonna spread out the rice thinly, chop up your chicken chunks, and then put the avocado in, and then you're gonna roll it up. We actually used baking parchment here. You don't need those fancy sushi wrap things, and just make sure you wet the end of the sushi roll. Not the sushi roll, the seaweed roll, when you wrap it up, and that will mean that it sticks really, really nicely. But yeah, just sort of tuck it in as you go. They are going to be a little bit crumbly, they're never going to be perfectly made myself, but they are going to be tasty. But yeah, I didn't really explain earlier, but with the sugar and vinegar mixture, you're just going to pour it over the rice when it's cooling down in a big tray, and just sort of stir it around with the spatula, and just be careful because otherwise the rice will go a bit mushy, so just be as soft as you can when you're using that spatula. But I'm pretty impressed with how these have turned out. It does make quite a lot, but you can have them the next day, you can share them. They do keep for like a couple of days in the fridge, so they're pretty good for lunches and snacks, but they do taste really, really good. Like they taste just like the shop bought ones. So I hope you give it a go. I'll put the recipe that I used in the description below so that you can give it a try, but I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in next week's vlog where we are doing something very exciting. We are going to Jurien Bay, so hopefully you'll join me for that one. Alright, see you soon, bye!